guys. Hey, guys. Welcome to another episode of Hello World with your girl Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're doing fine. Listen, I know I had it set for 5 o'clock, but it is 2 o'clock now, and I just felt like going live now rather than later. Um, yeah, that's how it is. Sometimes you just gotta go. Um, but anyway, I hope everybody is doing good. Let me check first and foremost to see if I'm buffering. Shouldn't take long while you guys are deciding on if you're able to come in or not. I'm just going to check these. Let's see. Ooh, that picture looked nice. It looked nice. It looked nice. It looks nice. Bring this in a little closer. All right. All right. So that's that. Great. So here we go. Um, Don't forget, guys, to like, subscribe, share, turn on your notification bells. If you can, give me a thumbs up or down, whichever you prefer to do is fine by me. And it's totally up to you because here at Hello World and Be the Difference Clothing, we want you to practice using your free will. It is the God given ability that we all have and often do not use. And sometimes we do use it, but we don't use it according to what is going to be good for us. Hey Marie, how you doing? Good to see you. Um, so I just decided to come live earlier than rather than later. So that's why I'm here now. Um, but yes, how are you today? I hope your day is going good. I hope it's fine. My day is good so far. Let me tell you what I did. So I woke up this morning and I ran errands for a majority of the morning. I ran errands. Um, and did you get to do your furniture shopping yet? I saw your video yesterday. I did a little purchasing myself today. I um I usually like to package my food or my lunch in glass Tupperware so that it can go immediately from a hot stove to like a regular environment, and glass doesn't really melt or doesn't have materials in it that could like harm you. So I just did that instead. Whew, sorry, my ear was itching. So I went ahead and bought a glass Tupperware. Somebody gave me a gift card, so I went there. Did you know make an egg bake? Oh, I never heard of egg bake. What is that? Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, so I didn't know the mall opened at 11 o'clock. Did you know that? Marie, did you know that? Nicole, did you know that? That the mall doesn't open until 11 a.m.? I thought they were open 9 o'clock Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday. I thought they were open 9. So I got to the mall around 10:45 and I was like, what's going on? Why is everything closed? I mean, every store was closed. So apparently the mall opens at 11. Is it like, I wonder if it's like COVID hours, like they just kept the COVID hours. Cause I was out with all the seniors this morning. I was out with all the seniors. So there was like a few benches in front of the store, in front of Macy's. So I went and I found a nice little seat. I sat down and I was like, does the mall open at 11? What time does it open? And the lady was like, oh, hey, Angie, how you doing? Good to see you. They were like, oh, the mall, I guess, I asked, the lady was like, I guess 11. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know. So I went into Macy's and I got my dish, my Tupperware dish. And the only reason why I went to Macy's rather than anywhere else is because I have a gift card. I have 2 gift cards, and um, I said I might as well use it because they're bedding. Um, they don't really have anything that I like as far as bedding goes. And I'm not willing to pay like $90 for some sheets, y'all. So I just said, well, let me just get this because I know I need it. I left my glass Tupperware at work and I have to make my lunch for tomorrow. So I might as well go ahead and buy what I needed. So that's what I did. And I ran a couple errands and now I'm here. I posted a video. If you got a short video, it's like less than a minute. So when you have a moment, if you can, no pressure, take a look at it. It's a garden update. So I'm super excited about my little garden. Like you guys know, like last year I was into the garden, but like this year I wanted us to do it right. You know what I mean? Like with it being neat and clean and stuff. And so far it's been okay. Um, there are some zucchini, right? And the zucchini plants, they grow out. And I mean, those vines, I was trying to lift the vine, but it was actually starting to mesh with the grass. I was like, hey, Frugal Mama, how you doing? Good to see you. It was starting to grow inside the grass. And it was like, if you've ever known uh, of a, um, what do you call it, a zucchini vine, they actually are very prickly. And, I lifted it up and it was like coming up. So that was pretty much what I experienced. And I got bit up like I felt the mosquito biting me. I don't know. I felt it biting me and I immediately put some alcohol on there to like kind of defeat the swelling. But then I woke up and I had this big, big one right there. I don't know if y'all can see it. That big one. I was like, it got me through my leggings. Those mosquitoes got me through my leggings because I was covered from head to toe. Except for my arms, everything else was covered. And that was crazy. Um, so let me just put my website in here real quick. If you guys are interested in purchasing anything, you can go to the website. Tomorrow, guys, I'm going to be doing an auction tomorrow evening. So come on through and see what we have. Hey, shoot, how are you? Nice to meet you. Welcome to Hello World. Good to see you. Um, oops. Uh, there it is. If you guys are interested in anything, if you want to purchase anything, you're more than welcome to go ahead and click on the website and follow me on all social media platforms under B as in boy, T as in Tom, D as in dog, LLC. I want to grow every platform that I have, every social media platform that I have to 10K. It's just a personal thing that I want to do. It has nothing to do with anything else, but just like one day I woke up and I was like, ooh, 10K. And I was like, okay. I've been on YouTube long enough to where I should be exceeding 10K um, as much as I invest in YouTube. I mean, maybe I'm doing some things wrong, but hopefully they will be corrected and then I'll see the results of what I've been sowing. Get you started college. Very good. Congratulations. Um, so, guys, today I wanted to talk about, I just labeled it childhood, but really it's about childhood trauma. Um, Be the Difference, Hello World specifically, is all about talking about uncomfortable things and overcoming things and being able to live a better life or the life that was intended for us to live and lead. Um, a lot of us, all of us, I'm not even gonna say a lot of us, every single last one of us, and I believe I can safely say that, have gone through some type of childhood trauma. It could have been losing a family member. It could have been losing a pet. It could have been in something from elementary school, bullying. All of us have gone through something. And I know I've been talking a lot about us manifesting things and and really doing it. And a lot of people have been seeing results of those manifestations, but now it's time to dig a little deeper. I'm going to use myself as a personal example. So I was on TikTok yesterday, and there's a live that I truly enjoy going to because it's nothing but growth. And it's about really unveiling that onion, taking off those layers, peeling it all off. So basically, I realized yesterday that I had a trauma that I know has been blocking me. And it's about love, guys. I know I preach about love all the time, and I talk about how we need to love each other. But in the long scheme of things, I realized, but I did not really understand the gravity of what love is compared to my trauma. Hey, Ron, we have a member. We have a member. And it's Ron Weasley and Dorcas and Farms. Hi, Tom. Hey, Zero, how you doing? Thank you, Zero. But I never correlated the two. Like, I kind of did, but I didn't really correlate the two about love and acceptance and wanting to be loved and accepting bits and pieces of what people want to give me or willing to give me versus what I deserve. And I am just using myself as an example because I know all of us have gone through this. Nobody is exempt. If we don't go and deal with some of the traumas that we've had, and I will gladly say that I have forgiven my past trauma in reference to love, because I think that was the one thing that was really holding that is well was holding me back from knowing my worth completely and knowing what I deserve as far as love. And I'm not even talking about relational, I'm talking about just in general, unconditional love, right? Because we always associate love with, oh, how people are supposed to love us versus how we're supposed to love others and what we allow as far as what love is. So I worked through that last night, and I really sat there and I said, you know what? I have to forgive this person because they had no idea. One, nobody has ever been given a manual on how to love. We don't talk about that. We talk about the do's and the don'ts as we're growing up. And we assume that just because someone hugs us and someone says that they love us, that that's actual love. And we try to teach our kids to love their little companion, little friends, but then it stops there. Kind of stops there. You want your kid to be the one kid that's the nicest out of the bunch, and everybody's like, oh, it's so polite, it's so good. But then there's that distance, that gap that comes between a parent and a kid when adolescence age, comes in. You no longer want to be next to your mom and dad anymore, or whoever your guardian is. You no longer want to be associated. You want to be associated primarily with your friends. But it's at that time and at that age where we really need to understand what unconditional love is all about. It's not about how much a friend can give you. It's not about the clothes and shopping and playing video games. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that we get distracted from the real essence of living a human life. What humanity is all about, it doesn't consist of video games. It doesn't even consist of the latest television show or the Netflix series or whatever. It doesn't even consist of the next restaurant we all can go to. It consists of the person-to-person communication. And we all desire love, especially unconditional love. Every single last one of us. So at this point, I would love for all of us to really think about that primary childhood trauma. Maybe it's so buried deep within that you don't even realize that it's become a stumbling block in your adulthood, or a stumbling block in your maturity. So think about it, guys. I have never felt as free and comfortable in my own skin as I do today after forgiving what was not given to me, primarily not necessarily their fault. I can't talk about them because they're not here to defend themselves, but I don't hold any more grudges anymore because that was the past. But today, you know how, like I say in the end, like you can't, whatever happens today, you can make that the remainder of your life. Well, I just started the remainder of my life last night. And love, guys, is the essence of who we are. And if we can at least get a grasp and a grip on what we accept and what we allow, the way we communicate with each other will become a lot better. From my experience, there's no such thing as unconditional love. Love always has conditions. Okay. Hey Jay, how you doing? Just driver's license. Congratulations on that. Hey AKA, how you doing? And that you are entitled to your opinion, Zero. I respect it. But really and true, just think about it. If we really let go of our ego and our pride, it wouldn't matter if someone reciprocated love to you or not, because there's billions of people in this world who are willing to reciprocate the kind of love that you were designed to receive. And all of us have been designed to receive love. Some of us receive love in very different ways and different forms. To you, love could be somebody saying, yo, what's up? To me, love can be someone going the extra mile and giving me something that I wanted but never expected that I would be given. So all of us have different expectations of what love is and how it's going to function best in our lives. But unconditional love does exist, in my opinion. So I can't take back not understanding what that was as a child and how much trauma it has caused and how deep and rooted it was up until this point. But once I released that, I said, woo, now my life can move forward. Not that it wasn't moving forward before, but now it's completely good. There may be other blockages that come up from time to time, but at least I decided to take it upon myself to work on the one thing that I knew was deeply rooted, an error that I was not willing to accept as an error or not willing to let go of because I wanted to hold on to that. Because sometimes we like to hold on to pain because it just feels so good. And it actually seems like the best route, but it doesn't advance us anywhere. It doesn't take us to the next level. But all of us have next level abilities. And working on those childhood traumas will definitely see you to the next level. You'll start to move a lot more different. People will see you in a different light. You won't really worry about too many things. Because what's there to worry? What does worry do? Does it add or subtract? Hey, Bench Thinker, how you doing? Dropping down on your break to say hi. Okay, good to see you. I physically could not hold on to that grudge, that anger towards this person anymore because of something that they didn't realize would put me in this position now. Do I love them? I can grow to love them and appreciate them because honestly, the things that they did for me was nice and was out of love. But at the end of the day, I can't hold them accountable for something that they had no idea what to do. But I know better. So moving forward with all of my relational situations, whether friendship, romance, platonic, or whatever, I know better. And I'm going to be held accountable for knowing better. That's just me personally. And as a result of working through that thing, and it didn't take long for me to be like, whatever, because at the end of the day, I was like, well, I want everything that's deserved for me. So let me let this go real quick. So now all things can come. I mean, maybe that was a little selfish to do, but like for real, I let go of that. So please start really thinking about any trauma. It doesn't even have to, well, yes, no, let's gear it towards that childhood trauma. I mean, I was traumatized by a dog chasing me down the street as a toddler. That traumatized me. But at least I let that go and I don't hold every dog accountable for what happened to me as a kid. I guess that put me into that fight or flight at an early age. You know what I'm saying? Hey, silly mama, how you doing? Welcome. It's so many different scenarios that could affect us, but all I'm asking is for us to work on at least one thing at a time. Find whatever major one was. It doesn't have to deal with love like it was for me. I just know it was love because that's who I am. And that's what I've been missing in all of my maturing life. Accepting, giving, and understanding. See, I could say I love a person or people. I could say that, but deep down, it was more so with a hesitation. Like, I don't know, they might hurt me like the last. But unless I work on that cycle it will break. That cycle will continue unless I break it. That's what it's all about for today. To break those cycles. Because rooted deep down, I was just like, well, they're not gonna like me no way anyway. Well, if you go into every situation like that already with a predisposition, guess what? You get exactly what you think and what you feel like you've always deserved. It sounds crazy, I know, but that's how intricate life is. But now I know that I have forgiven my past. And I look at everything right now, as of this day, I look at everything in a different light. Not everybody's out to get me. Actually, nobody's out to get me unless I allow them to. Yes, childhood trauma is so real, it can mess up you up if you don't handle it. Hey Raymond, how you doing? You got to put it positive out there. You have to. So I absolutely receive love from whomever wants to give it to me, platonic or not. And if at any point people decide to take their love away from me, that is okay. I'm not going to be hurt by that because I understand that everybody has to heal and everybody has to heal, and their healing is in different phases and stages. When I was in that stage of not trust and believe, maybe the right people came along in my life who would have treated me just as good as ice cream taste going down your throat or hitting your taste buds. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it because I was not. Deep down inside, I said, no. You only gonna do me just like everybody else did. Gotta let go of those traumas, y'all. And you gotta let go of the idea that it's always gonna be that way. You gotta let go of the idea and believe that people can't hold a little bit of faith in you, or you can't hold a little bit of faith in people. Got to get rid of that. I think if we all try to get rid of that, then maybe we will be able to see the silver lining in every situation and in every person. Maybe. I mean, hey, maybe I'm just talking out my butt, but let's try it. Exactly. People only going to take advantage of you if you let them. Some of us aren't aware of childhood trauma's impact until the 30s hit. It's true, binge. And some of us know even before the things, and we just want to ignore it and just be like, bury it more. But it always plays out in all of our communications. Eventually, may not play out initially, but eventually, everything that you just want to get people before they get you. That's what ends up happening. I want to get you before you get me. Like let's take out love and just put in how people always steal from you. Let's just say that people always borrow money from you, and you're always lending people money, and you know they're not going to pay you back. Well, then maybe you should change it from lending to just giving, or maybe you should change it from they're gonna pay me back, or maybe I just don't have it to give. There's so many different scenarios that we can use instead of going down the same path that we're used to, as in nobody's going to pay me back anyway. You got to get to the root of when that trauma happened, when somebody broke your trust and said they were going to pay you back and never did. You got to get to that root, forgive them so that you could be free, and free of that belief that nobody's ever going to do you right when you lend them money. It's about learning how to love unconditionally and also to trust. How many of us have had our trust violated? Every single last one of us. Every single last one. This is why the conversation is perfect for everyone, because we've all experienced it. There's not one person who's never been, their trust has never been violated by someone else. And I don't even need it doesn't even have to be deep, deep, deep trust. It's just, well, you lied to me. You said you were going to pick me up at this time and you didn't. Simple as that. All of our trusts have been violated, but at some point in time, we need to work on that initial violation so that we can break that chain of thought and how we operate with others. But you got to be willing. If you're not willing, then it's never going to work. I was willing at that point last night, I guess because there was something dangling in front of me, like, my picture of having everything that I was birthed to have was dangling in front of me. And all I had to do was just let go of this one thing that I knew was an issue for years. Because every time I spoke of their name, it would anger me. I never even wanted to be associated with them. But now I don't mind. It's amazing what happens when you let go. So now I'm waiting for all the good things to come now. Oh, well, you've given me a topic for your live now, Joy. Okay, invite me on the panel so we can kind of have a conversation. Because I know how you feel, Zero. I do. I mean, like, I'm not saying I know exactly how you feel, but I know we've talked about it on your panel once before anyway, about unconditional love. We have. I'm been doing some self-checking and reevaluating myself in your journey in life. We always have to reevaluate that, right? Because how can we expect everybody else to be at this level if you have not even attempted to get off of your low frequency and go higher? It's a conversation, y'all. Never will I, well, less will I think that people will disappoint me versus not disappointing. I want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to always have my guard up unless my spirit says, nah, 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 nah. And I know the difference. I know the difference between someone who's just trying versus someone who's lying. You know what I'm saying? How do you deal with trusting someone who did you wrong before they are willing to drop everything to help out without hidden agendas to be helped? It's you. You can't worry about everybody else. You got to start working on you first, right? Because if they say the law of attraction, right? If that really is a true thing, which I believe most of you believe, if that really is a true thing, how can you attract trust if you've never given it or was able to receive it? You're only going to attract what you've been historically attracting. I want to think positive on the situation, but others keep telling me they are going to hurt you again. Hey, Tim, how you doing? I'll schedule it later and message you when I do. Okay. And it's going to be a real mature conversation. And that's what it's about. In order for us to really make a difference and be the difference, we got to talk about things that are hard. And situations like these are hard because there is no right or wrong answer. All it is perspectives. And what are we going to do from there? We can have as many conversations as we want, but what will we do from there? It's either you're going to let things stay the way it is, or you're going to try to grow from it and grow better. As far as you, silly mama, I don't know what the exact situation is, but go with working on yourself first. Because I believe if you work on yourself, the God you trust and believe and have given your life to will tell you exactly how to go and will lead you whether to go continue with whatever this situation is or to walk away with a clean slate. But we got to work on us. We always want to pass out the, well, how can I deal with them? How can you deal with you? Focus on you first. Focus on where it all started first. And then how you communicate with others will be the direct reflection of what you've worked on. That's what I feel. It's been working out so far. Okay. And remember when other people, I guess they pass judgment on situations, they're talking from their experience, not necessarily from seeing it for what it's worth. Other people can be right. But that's why if you work on you and not necessarily always go outward, I think God won't lead you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like we make mistakes so that we learn from them. And if you never learn from your mistake, guess what? You get the results of what you've never worked on. Always, over and over and over again. If you're willing and ready to start a new chapter in your life, it's going to be different than what you've been living these past years of your life. Hey, we have a member. We have a member. And it's Minister of Music, Terrence Trower. How you doing? It's very different. And we can't hold grudges either, y'all. We can't. I know they say everything happens for a reason. Nah, I don't know about all that. Sometimes we cause reasons. That's another topic too to discuss. Everything happens for a reason. That's a deep conversation. But not everything that we do has to become a reason for somebody's hurt or not. We don't have to become the result of someone being turned off or turned on. We should be the reason why somebody wants to look at life differently and to trust and to love. Yes, sometimes we cause it. Nobody told you to go steal something. You cause your own outcome. It's true. And then we have to be willing to accept the consequences of what we did to play part in that position, in that situation. Right? A lot of times we're not willing to take responsibility. Like I take full responsibility of my actions for like having and holding a grudge against this person because it played out in majority of all my relational situations. And I'm not talking about romance. I'm talking about relational, meaning everybody. Deep down inside, it was for everybody. But now I got to look at everybody, as an individual, and give them the benefit of the doubt. And still love them regardless of whatever the outcome is, because at the end of the day, we're all surviving. Every single last one of us is surviving. We all want somebody to be kind to us, especially when we're going through. Hey Afro, how you doing? Really? It was? On my live or somebody else's live? Hey Mew Mew, how you doing? How you doing? Love Blake, how are you? How you feeling? It was on my live, Afro, or somebody else's? But it's definitely, like I said, or what I've been saying, in order for us to do things differently, we have to get off of this wheel. Like for real, I may sound crazy to some, but forget about the calendar. For real. Systematically, we've been doing everything systematically. And what results have we been getting? The same old results. The same old topics keep coming up. And we never work from them or through them. It's like we've been trained to like, well, when summer comes, this is what you do. When winter comes, this is what you do. How about when summer comes, I'm going to decide to do this. And I'm going to be prepared for summer. And I'm going to look at every day as a summer day because I get to live and I get to be warm if I choose to be warm, or cold if I choose to be cold. I mean, physically, not like emotionally. Even though people do choose to be cold. But that's a deep-rooted issue. Maybe it's a childhood trauma. Maybe it's something that you've been reflected all your life. Gosh, man, y'all, like, for real. And my heart goes out to people who have been receiving nothing but coldness all their life. So what do they reflect is just coldness. So you can't decipher between good and evil because you consider everything evil. When you're cold-hearted, that's something deep. It's almost like, who are you allowing to help continue the destruction of humanity? This was a conversation I had with a younger adult. Ooh. And it's hitting you again? Maybe we need to think outside of the box of conventional paradigms. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, Mew Mew. We have to. Like, for real. Every 4 years, what happens? We go for a new president or keep the same one. And what happens every 4 years or 8 years? The same old thing. We fight, we argue, we make fun of, we say this person ain't doing nothing. We say, why can't we trade on our own? Like, gas prices are ridiculous. Why did it go from $2.16, sometimes up to like $1.99 to now $3.19? My car is small. I used to fill my tank with almost $22. Yesterday I filled it with $35. Why can't I trade on my behalf? Why does it have to be a $1 billion industry for some and a losing for majority? Obviously, we can't just allow the same people who have been doing the same things for eternity to continue to talk on our behalf. because it's not working in our favor at all. I went off on a tangent. I know. I'm sorry. But this conversation is all about us really working on at least one childhood, committing to yourself that you will work on at least one childhood trauma. Maybe it is only one, maybe it's multiple, but I'm asking you just to do one childhood trauma. Work on that thing and watch and see how you come. And I'm not saying that every day is going to be perfect for me, where I'm going to be, I trust I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is I held myself accountable. And I no longer want to go with that mindset that everybody's got something against me. Bunk that. It's about me fighting against what I've been ingrained to believe for so many years. It's not going to be like an everlasting overnight thing, but I know what I'm aware. I know and I'm aware of. Once those things start to rise, I got to kill it, cut it off at the root so that I don't repeat and go back into that same circle that has gotten me nowhere. And I've seen no different and new results. I want what I was birthed to have. I want all of those experiences. And if it means letting go of some that I probably didn't have any like immediate cause to the situation, doesn't matter. But I know now. Hey Bonnie, how you doing? Collective positive energy can help us. Exactly. You ain't saying nothing but the truth. Joy, yes, same old, same old. That's why back in the day, presidency was limitless until they died. But we got to start doing the work from within. Because we can't be impactful if we have a wavering opinion. Because the minute your foundation is built on sand, that house gonna fall. That ego's gonna rise back up. But if you build it off of something solid, of like, you know what, I'm working on these things, I'm working on these errors, and and now I'm building on something brand new that I've never experienced before, that I have to learn how to be okay with. It's possible. But we gotta work. It's a work in progress. Maybe we won't focus so much on the material outer things that only keep us numb for a little bit. Oh my goodness. All of these external things that have been keeping us numb and keeping us distracted from working on the inside. Imagine that. Cut them, man. Cut them. Try one. Please, just try one and see what happens. And when those challenges come with that one that you've overcome, just know that you've overcome. And think of different strategies on how you can react versus going backwards. Because when you fall back, just like an addict, when they fall back, it's harder to come back. It's harder to come back up. Hey, Information Man, how you doing? Good. This is really some homework right here for me, I think. It is homework for all of us. You know what I'm saying? At least you're willing to admit it. Last night, if you just joined me, if you didn't hear the story, Afro, I was actually in a TikTok live yesterday. And then the topic of childhood trauma came up. And I mean, childhood trauma always comes up. And we always gloss over it like, But I really said, you know what? It really, really hit home. Like, you know what, Joy? If you really feel like you deserve better things, when it comes to that, for me, it's about love. When it comes to love and how I love people and how I receive love, I'm talking strictly for myself. And how I receive love, it was a block. And that block was what I was holding back and holding a grudge against someone else who is not able to defend themselves, but who I know didn't know any better because maybe they weren't taught. So now I have to learn, but the learning will become much more easy when I clear that plate of expecting exactly what was done for me or done to me, not for me. Let's say not necessarily to me, but the experiences that I experienced will be the outcome of how everybody does me. I can't do that anymore. It doesn't work. I have to open my heart and be willing to open my heart to people and not really believe that everybody's out to get me, because they're not. Not everybody's gonna sabotage my life, because they're not. Not everybody's out there to have me dangling and then throw me away, because people don't. But if I continue to think that mindset, it's gonna come, because I'm gonna keep on wanting those experiences. I don't want those experiences. So I gotta cut them at the root so that new experiences can come where I won't have to experience the I knew that was gonna happen type of situation, because that's not gonna happen anymore. Moving forward, I'm moving differently. Ooh, that's a quote. Remember, y'all? That's a quote from one of my books. Moving forward, I'm moving differently. It's in one of these books. I can't remember which one, but it's in there. I want to move differently. And Silly Mama, you mentioned it too. I'm moving differently, y'all. I only want to attract the type of friendship, relationships, family ships, situationship. Well, not situationships, but family ships, relationships for of what's going to help me progress more. Right? Because I may be here, but they're still here, because the sky is the limit. And there's no limit to the sky. I want to go as high as I can go. Higher. You know, I have to break off into that song. Higher. I can laugh about it now because it's so simple how one thing we can hold on for so long, or we can hold on to for so long, can actually block us from what we should have gotten years ago. But I can't worry about years ago, because it starts today. Every step I take, I'm breaking bondages. Ain't nobody out to get unless I want them to sabotage you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Reborn. Hey, Carter Z. How you doing? Ooh, we have a member. Woo, woo, woo. I can't get the rhythm right. Woo, 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 woo. Well, whatever. We have a member, and it's Reborn Artist Live on the woo, woo, woo. Yeah. How you doing? Yeah, y'all know I always got to give Reborn her stripes and her flowers. Whenever she comes in, she's been one of the very few people who have taken time out to try to help me on my YouTube journey. You know what I'm saying? And I always appreciate that. I always do, because I didn't have to see. That's a perfect example of love right there. I didn't have to know her for so many years. She just willingly gave. And I didn't believe she was out to get me either. I received the love that she was giving me and helping. That's what love is all about, y'all. It's not all about it's not all about that. It's how we treat each other. That's what it's about. And that's why I say I will always give you your flowers, because it means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? The moment is now. Exactly. Hey, Slim Jim, how you doing? Good to see you. Associate. Hey, Terry, you back. You may not have all the answers, but you're wise enough to keep asking the questions. You have experienced change of vision, which leads to change of mind. Be proud of your personal growth. Girl, Terry, you ain't saying nothing but the truth. I don't have all the answers, but if we at least talk about it, we all can work through something. You know what I'm saying? Because if I wasn't in that TikTok chat yesterday because I was prepared and mature enough to receive that information, then I wouldn't have worked on that childhood trauma. I can admit it to myself. I don't want to know all the answers because then that means I'm above everybody. I ain't above nobody. But I do know that if we work together, just like Miu was saying, we could change the tide and the tone of life. For real, for real. I believe that wholeheartedly. No problem, Reborn, and it's all true. Oh, thank you, Reborn. Well, you didn't have to, but thank you. I appreciate it. But that's the challenge for all of us today. Please, I beg you. I beg you, please. Yes, I'm begging you, please. Begging you, I'm begging you, I'm begging you, I'm begging you. Please try at least to force yourself to work on at least one childhood trauma in your life. And nobody is exempt, not one of us. And that's the beautiful thing about it. No one can say, well, it's not me. Yes, it is you. Yes, it is you. Maybe that's the trauma we have to get through, is admitting that we have faults and flaws that need to be worked on. Maybe that's the first step. It's just admitting that we have those things. And that, yes, we have childhood traumas. Because we built our lives and our communications off of those traumas. And they've been quicksand ever since. Quicksand ever since. Shoot. And I'm not talking about it had to come from your family. It could have came from school. It could have came from anywhere. Thank you, Information Man. Thank you. It could have come from it doesn't matter where it came from. I'm not talking specifically about any particular person. I'm just saying you personally know. Now that I'm making you aware, unless you were already aware, that you gotta work on that one trial, at least one. I that's all I'm asking is just if you work on one, you will notice the change and the shift in how you operate. I always like to use this as a picture of what we see our lives can be. It's time for us to start being inside that picture. Because we deserve it. What was the purpose? And you know what? They used this analogy yesterday too. And I never thought about it this way. And I'm not speaking I'm talking about from what I heard someone else say, right? I'm not taking credit for anything. But they used the whole idea of the sperm, right? You know how the sperm has the little tadpole head and the thing. She was saying that was our actual head. And those squiggly line was our spine. I was like, oh, snap. And your mother's womb would only accept what was to grow. That's deep, y'all. You made it while billions of others did not. So that, just off of that little piece right there, that means that we were human. Even when we were sprouting. Makes you think about abortion a little differently, right? I mean, people are going to do whatever they want to do. But you that seemed, I was like, oh, snap, that kind of blew my mind. It makes sense to me. You made it. So if you made it up until this point, you deserve to at least work on some of the things that did not work and is not working for you. You might as well. You beat out billions of other semen, sperm, or whatever you want to call it. You made it. That's how beautiful life is and how nature is. I mean, she was saying it to the fact that the woman is basically, you just have to be there. And I appreciated that conversation because I was like, ooh, it made me think about things differently. It made me realize that I am a Black woman and I'm proud to be a Black woman. And I was blessed to be a woman. Because life starts, if I decide, right in here. So that's a gift to be a woman, especially me because I'm Black. Shoot. Made me think about life different. I was like, you know what? I respect it now. And I'm grateful now. You know what I'm saying? Like, have y'all ever thought about that? Hey, us never done. How you doing? How you feeling? I've accepted mine. Finally, they help me love and understand others. Amen. Thank you so much for. Oh, that's why I have to change this up. And yes, it's comfortable, but change can be uncomfortable. It is always uncomfortable. You know, I like to use the analogy of babies, right? We always think that they're crying and complaining, but have we ever thought about they're just going through growth pains and don't know how to express it, but just being like, moaning and groaning and crying, teeth coming through your daggone gums. That junk hurt. But you can't say it hurts. You just cry because that's the only way you know how to communicate. You fall down as a toddler, of course you're going to cry because you hurt your knee. I just say that to say it hurts. Growth always will hurt. But guess what? Once you're strong in that vessel, once you're strong in that area, it's not going to hurt anymore. Right? What a person says about you can't have an effect unless you believe it. No one believe who in you are. No one believe in who you are. I know that's right, Terry. Thank God for you to come through here. I know that's right. Think about it, y'all. We all are special little gifts. Every single last one of us. Not one of us is any better than the next. The fact that we made it to be in somebody's womb and they did not decide to throw us away. We gotta love our moms, even no matter how messed up some of our moms could be. If that's your situation, maybe your mom was amazing, but now you can see how much more amazing she is because she kept you. And how amazing your father is because he gave. And how much more responsible you should be of the life that you live. Because two people went through the birthing process just for you to come and to make something good of yourself. And even if those two people did not make good of themselves, because some parents are addicts, they got to live with that. Whether they live in recovery or not, they got to live with that. Some parents know better. But at the end of the day, none of us, unless you as a parent now start to teach your kid about what love is and what it consists of and how you should feel loved and be okay with being loved and giving love, even if you don't get it returned, unless you're teaching that, it's going to be the same thing over and over again until you get that epiphany like, oh my goodness, I am amazing. And my mom had her first child at 16. So imagine if she gave my brother up, I might not have been here. Mm. And at 16, what does she know? Imagine being 16, already like, dang, I can't even do nothing that like my peers are doing. Now I got to grow up. I don't know how to raise no baby. And everybody else is, first of all, everybody is like, shame on you for getting pregnant. Come on, man. You're already pregnant and you go through the hormonal process of being pregnant. And then you got other people telling you, shame on you. You should have done this. You could have done better with your life. Now your life is messed up. Like, come on, y'all. People make mistakes every day. I mean, that's a lifelong mistake. But do we need to make them feel guilty for the rest of their natural born lives to the point where they don't even want their own kid no more? It's deep, y'all. And also before me, my mom had a miscarriage, which she had me next. If it wasn't for that situation, I wouldn't be here and my kids would not be here. A whole generation. I'm sorry, I had to look at the chat and read with a smile. So if anybody looks at the playback, they're not like, why is she looking like crazy like that? But that is deep, y'all. It's very deep. So that's why if we can at least work on one childhood trauma, we can eradicate some of those generational curses. I'm not hiding anymore the fact that it was a problem with me and love. I'm not hiding that anymore. It happened. It's not going to continue to happen. I'm not going to hide behind the idea that people have it out for me and nobody's going to care about me, blase, blase. That's just nothing but a lie. It's just a lie, a repetitive lie that I've accepted for too long, and I'm not doing it anymore. I gave that up last night. And if people end up hurting me, it happens. But it's not going to be the rest of the world that does the same thing that one person or two people may have done. It's just not how it is anymore. They are putting guilt and burden on people. Yep. An old deacon at my home church had a great saying: every tub must is set on its own bottom. Mm-hmm. Every person is responsible for what they say and do. Yes. And when you become aware of that responsibility, you tread lightly, as I try to do majority of my life. Like I said, there's going to be times where we falter, but we don't have to fall. They are putting on clothing. Oh, hey. I love that channel right there. They end up changing their name to everybody in the chat. Don't forget to follow. Have a little bit more lightheartedness in your life, guys. There's times where we can be serious, but I think that seriousness should be subject to when we're trying to work on something in our lives that has been burdening us and holding us back from our true living our full purpose in its perfection. Well, okay, that was a dumb thing to say because there's nothing perfect. Well, living our true purpose and enjoying that purpose. Some people can live their purpose but not enjoy it. But why not enjoy it? Enjoy the ride. Laugh more. That junk is going to be good. So I leave you guys with that today, please, because we've been here for an hour and I don't like to keep you that long. Please commit to yourself to work on one childhood trauma. And I say that to say because you can use that as your test on whether what I'm saying has any validity to you or not. It worked for me. I know it could work for you, but you got to be willing to try. If you're not willing to try, then don't be upset with the repetitive things that keep happening in your life. Just because they BS on the plate doesn't mean you have to eat it. Mm-hmm. Just because you have a problem doesn't mean you have to keep a problem. It's true. YouTube held your comment because you said the B word, BS. Because you said that. That's why YouTube held it. But at least I read it. That's what Terry said was just because they put bull crap on your plate doesn't mean you have to eat it. Just because you have a problem doesn't mean you have to keep a problem. It's so true. That means work on yourselves, guys. It's an inner job. It's not everybody else's fault. And it's not your fault either. It's not your fault for something that you may not have been aware of. But at least you're aware of it today. Start working today. So that you can start seeing the results that you think that you deserve. Because those things will become a reality. Everybody have a fantastic day. Remember, the smiles are free. Exactly. You guys are beautiful and amazing. There is no mistake about you. There is something that we can work on in our lives, in every aspect of our lives. None of us is perfect. None of us has it all together. And that's the beauty, because we can work through things together. But if you haven't started in here first, then you haven't jumped off that wheel yet. Come on over to the good side. Watch what happens. Watch what doors open for you that feels so much better and flows so much better. Watch. Watch the quality of conversations you have, the quality of people that come into your life, the quality that you expect, the quality of your thought process. Watch how that changes. You are responsible, wonderful people. Let your life start now before you can't start anymore. I don't care how old you are or how young you are. None of us is exempt. Man, that's why I say throw away time, man. Throw away the age. Because some of us are still infants in adult bodies. And until we are groomed and grow and flourish, age ain't nothing but a number. And it's holding you back. So throw it away. Crazy or not, it works for me. No problem. Hey, don't forget to connect with Carter Z. Oh, you are so silly. So, if you want, please follow me on all my social media platforms at BTD LLC. I'm trying to grow all of them to 10K. That's just the medium. Maybe I should just say I'm just trying to grow all of them beyond my expectations. That's what I'm going to start saying. Because what if there was a viral video that was more than 10K and I limited to 10K? You never know. So I want to grow my channels past my expectations. So if you want to be a contributor of that and have your family contribute as well, please do. Tell them to come on over. The sky is the limit. Remember that. And if you'd like to purchase any items, you can go to BeTheDifferenceLLC.com for all of your inspirational needs, or some of them at least. We got books, t-shirts, socks, a little bit of everything. It's like a little mini department store when you come over there. And I appreciate the time that you gave me. And I hope that you decide to work on something so that you can start living in that vision and in that picture that you see at a distance. From a distance. Hey, Jess, how you doing? Good to see you. My name is Joy from Be The Difference Clothing, guys, and I am signing out on another episode of Hello World. Yes.